Hello Capricorn, Capricorn Rising, and Capricorn Moon people. This is your monthly astrological horoscope. Almost said and card, even though there's no cards in the monthly horoscopes. Astrological horoscope for October 2017. And a quick reminder for all of you out there, remember, these horoscopes are intended to give a broad overview of the month, which are the background energies of the month. I'll never put anything in these astrology horoscopes that is influential for just a day. In fact, everything on this list, at the minimum is influential for 2 weeks, some even longer. So if you are looking for more short-term aspects, flavor of the week kind of stuff, check out your weekly horoscopes. The first half is exclusively astrology anyway, so there's something for everybody. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below or go to integrativemysticism.com. So, what is going on with October? Well, we've got some leftover energies from September still working very much in your favor. At the beginning of the month, for the first 2.5 weeks or so, we've got Mercury, planet of communication, haste and speed, in your 10th house of career and upward mobility. And we start to see developments happening a lot more quickly when it comes to your advancement in your work. If we're trying to drum up extra customers, if we're trying to reach a larger base, or if we're finally trying to actually have some kind of sit-down or some kind of meeting. Maybe we're doing some negotiations, maybe we're trying to have some kind of sit-down with the boss, or a way to elevate ourselves. If you're taking any kind of effort, or making any kind of effort to perhaps take some kind of test, or go through an evaluation or test of your methods, things seem to be going quite smoothly. This also works very, very well for entry evaluations or entrance evaluations for people applying for new jobs. Any kind of tests you've got to take, or again, whether we're, just doing interviews, all of these things are going extremely smoothly. And, usually with Mercury in the 10th house, we're getting a lot of personal attention. That'll happen more and more, but we're getting much more personal attention from influential people this month as well. On the Virgo side of things, we've still got Venus and Mars in your 9th house of Virgo for the vast majority of the month. Venus will be there for the first 2 weeks, and Mars will be there for the first 3 weeks. Now remember, Virgo is your 9th house of travel, government and legal proceedings, higher education, academia, and your spiritual life and cultural expansion. And with Venus here, it's going to be a wonderful opportunity for you to start actually meeting and circulating with people outside of the culture that you are, what you would consider to be your cultural norm. If we've been trying to maybe diversify a little bit, maybe we're looking for a new way to communicate with other cultures spiritually for our own personal growth. Maybe we find love from a culture or maybe even a spiritual practice outside of our own. This could also actually be more of an angle that helps a lot of you gain favor with an academic or legal institution if you need it. Mars being here will actually be defending you, sticking up for you, championing you. If you have anything that you really need to put into motion, anything that you're trying to appeal, any decisions you want to overturn, or perhaps any kind of rules or things like that you need to kind of break or turn around, Mars says you have backup here. If there's something that you need to retake, if there's something you want to kind of question, or again, sort of, change about a legal arrangement, or maybe even something that you've had going on in school as it comes to your credits, your transfers, or anything that involves permits, or anything that'll help you work in a capacity that's a lot better for you. Mars is going to be bringing people to stand by your side and stick up for you, overcoming, again, whatever obstacle is there. Both of these are fabulous for publicity and for broadcasting if you are trying to promote yourself, a cause or a business that you are passionate about. This is all actually gorgeous energy for that first 2 weeks and 3/4 of the month. On the 5th of the month, we've got a full moon in Aries, in your 4th house of home and family. And this is going to be a culminating moon for a lot of people. And, between the 5th and the 19th of the month, some of you may actually decide, you know what, you want to move. Some of you may actually decide the time is to move, or if you're trying to end a house hunt situation, you're trying to find a new place to live, this is going to help you find that space, that place. This full moon, however, can also bring up some tension. on the family front and home and family front. I want you to be careful over the course of the 5th through the 19th. There could be some scraps going on, some arguments or some fightings happening, you know, with relatives, with roommates, anyone you share that family tie or that household tie with. So all in all, great for house hunters, but maybe not necessarily also easy for tense family discussion. On the 10th, we've got a lovely aspect going on. Believe me, we've got Jupiter, planet of luck, wealth, riches, and expansion, moving into your 11th house of friendships and social networking, Scorpio, where he's going to be for a year and some change. And let me tell you, when Jupiter is in your 11th, that is when you start to see your social circle expand and your dreams take off. Again, we're getting very, very well known during this time. If there's something that you need to become popular for, maybe you don't need to become popular, but you need to gain awareness for it. You know, the 11th house can be wonderful for, again, promoting you or promoting a talent that you have, a product that you offer, a service that you give. Really, really good for business on a social level. Usually with, you know, Jupiter in the 11th house as well, you know, again, we become more socially active, much more socially popular. If you're looking to expand on your social group or attract more friends to you, or, you know, maybe even flying solo for a little while, you're trying to find that sense of tribe. Over the next year, you know, Jupiter's going to be bringing in tons of people. I remember when Jupiter was in my 11th house, everything just kind of blew up, you know, my subscriber count went up, I started making all kinds of friends all over the place, even, you know, just at home and in real life, there were people coming in and out all over, lots of tremendous activity, but it's kinetic activity that's very, very constructive. And this is the 11th house, so it works on all levels. This could be something that works for love and for your professional life at the same time. It could work for your own personal fulfillment as it comes to, you know, your own personal development, whether it's your physical health, again, a bucket list item you want to work on. We're bringing in a whole new community for you to, you know, sort of circulate and matriculate in over the next year, and they're all going to be very supportive. So it's almost like an army for the Capricorn people. You're recruiting an army, or an army is recruiting you, it seems. But it's all your tribe. On the 14th of the month, we've got Venus, planet of love, affection, and attraction, moving into your 10th house of career, Libra. And when Venus goes into our 10th house, we tend to notice things coming a bit easier to us. Again, we're winning all kinds of popularity contests. Jupiter is also helping with that. But with Venus in the 10th house, you're also noticing people going out of their way to do favors for you, people going out of their way to win you over and hold your attention. This may also increase the likelihood of finding love on the job, whether it's with a coworker or possibly with a client or a customer. You may not necessarily meet them on your job, you could just as easily meet them on their job. But chances are, if you're single and looking, you may actually find love within your same vocation whenever Venus is moving through the 10th, and that's going to be, you know, pretty much from the 14th through the duration of the month and going on into November. On the 17th of the month, we've got Mercury, planet of communication, haste, and speed, moving into your 11th house of friendships and social networking, Scorpio, where he's going to be basically through the end of the month as well. And with Mercury in the 11th, we have, again, more conversations starting, more doors opening, and more walls coming down when it comes to your social life. You know, if you've been trying to, you know, get back out there, get back in touch, reopen lines of communications with friends, people you recognize, you respect, or you've had some kind of big, again, bucket list item dream that you've been trying to achieve with a friend or in a social group you hold dear. You know, Mercury's going to speed up developments. Whatever we get started, it's going to have a bit of a snowball effect. It's really going to ramp up during the course of Mercury's stay here. This can also be really good for reunions. So just pay attention to, you know, to how much we're actually collecting and amassing around ourselves. A lot of you Capricorns are kind of walking in to October, you know, with sort of like a small handful of all these goodies, and you're walking out with big bags. On the 19th, we've got a new moon in your 10th house of career. And this is going to be an opportunity for you guys to promote yourselves, or maybe even start on a new career path, whether it's with the same employer or within the same vocation or something completely different. And with a new moon in the 10th house, we usually do think about a way to actually elevate ourselves by doing something completely different. The 10th house doesn't always indicate we leave our employer or we leave the business that we own if we work for ourselves, but we're doing something so drastically different in this capacity, then we're actually getting, more recognition, a higher status at the office, or possibly even more pay. Mars on the 22nd moving into the 10th house is going to be working on giving you a lot more overtime opportunities, a lot more overtime potential, because whenever Mars is in a money sector, we are really getting the competitive assignments and the competitive hours and the competitive jobs. If you are in a situation where you're trying to get that overtime money, you're trying to save up for the end of the year, or you're just trying to play get ahead, or maybe we feel like hours have been cut back a little bit, I always say to people when they're worried about hours getting cut back, Mars in the 10th house basically does the opposite. You get inundated. This can also give you a bit of a competitive edge where, if you are dealing with a competitor or a rival professionally, whether it's another business or somebody within your home office, this is going to be a friend who usually comes in and helps you overcome or overtake whoever's stepping against you. On the 23rd and Mars will be there well into the end of November. On the 23rd, we have our last aspect that I'm going to talk about in this video, and that's the Sun moving into your 11th house of friendships and social networking. And again, there's this big focus on your social life, your social activity, and staying socially active. A lot of you may actually be spending time getting drawn towards more humanitarian causes as well, because the Sun focuses so much on healing and on recovery and getting more out of things, and also, bringing things back to, to picture perfect. But with the Sun, this is also about healing and recovering, again, relationships that you miss in your life. Also drawing opportunities for you to actually get some R&R, doing a different type of activity. We've got a very fun month, we've got a very exciting energy there. And again, an opportunity to reunite with a friend, somebody that, it could become something very special. Down the road, we've got still lots of energy, even more energy for love coming to you in November. But we've got a lot of energy working for you here. So pay attention if you're not used to putting yourself out there. I know a lot of Capricorn people can be very careful about, and maybe a little bit, a little bit cheap with themselves when it comes to their schedule. This is not the month to be so. So that is your horoscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And of course, if you ever want to get a session with me, you can always follow the links below, or go to integrativemysticism.com.